doing today?
Good.
Leaving work with some merchandise?
No. I'm sorry, what is your name?
My name's right here. That's Officer to you.
Okay, can I help you, officer?
Yeah, I was just watching some very interesting video footage from your work.
What are you talking about?
Mind if I search you?
No.
You don't mind if I search you?
No, I don't really want much to do with this, sir. Can I help you?
Empty your pockets right
No,
now.
can I have some sort of warrant? I'm not
Empty
saying, oh my God.
your pockets.
No.
We all know what you did.
Who was we?
That looks just like the Rolex that was stolen from the nursing home that you work at. Yep. There's the money. Where's the credit cards?
What are you talking about?
Empty your pocket right there. Empty your pocket.
Here. Are you happy? Can I go now?
Absolutely not. Would you care to explain this?
Explain what?
Where did these come from?
Does that matter? We both know where it comes from.
You often steal from your job and where you work?
Whatever. I think I should go.
Turn around. Hands behind your back.
Sir, I'm
Turn around. Hands behind your back. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. I highly recommend you exercise that right.
I'm gonna lose my job.
You already lost your job. We have you on video stealing all of this evidence.
And it's raining?
10:37. Suspect in custody.
Oh my God. This is not for real. Oh my God. Can we please just talk about this? I think this is a bit dramatic to be arrested. What footage? Can I see the footage?
Absolutely. You'll see it in court. Do you always steal from your employee, from the people that are putting food on your table? You think it's a good idea to steal?
They're not gonna miss it. Okay? He's dying anyway. He's basically dead.
So it's okay to take his belongings in your head? Where do you come up with this reasoning?
Because I need it.
For what?
My kids.
Drugs?
Can we please
What kind of drugs are you taking?
Does that matter?
Absolutely.
I have children. I told you I'm pregnant.
And you think it's wise to be taking drugs while you're pregnant?
Alright, Shalom. Shalom. Before I start, I want to give our honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Wakakodash. Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahweh Shai. Bahashem, meaning coming in the name. Ba means coming in, Ha means the, Sam means name, Rakah meaning spirit, Kodash meaning holy. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And shalom to you, sincere brothers that are scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you, sincere sisters that are listening in silence, as the scriptures command you to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Razakah, and pretty much this lesson is going to be titled as Eve caught on camera in her wickedness, right? And that wickedness was what? Stealing. Okay, she got caught on camera stealing. She literally jeopardized her job, literally jeopardized everything for herself. Now she's getting locked up, all because of her stealing. And if you are a woman out there, okay, and you're in that field of nursing, don't think that there's people not watching you. You're being watched. The Lord is watching literally everything that all of us is doing. The Lord is watching everything that you're doing, literally. And when you steal, just know it's going to come with consequences. Literally, Salakia. It's going to come with consequences, okay? And you got to be mindful for that, okay? And this woman literally wasn't paying that no attention, that she was literally caught on camera. Then she lied to the officer and said she didn't steal. Then, after she got arrested, then she want to admit it. Well, the man is going to die anyway. The man is in a coma. I don't know if that was an Edomite. I don't know if it was an Israelite, a Jake, or whatever. But she was stealing from a man that was in a coma. All right, and this is why I say these westernized women in this society today, they don't have no shame of their wickedness. Eve is gonna be wicked. She's gonna do what she gonna do. Now, this ain't a woman bashing video. Not every single Israelite woman is wicked, right? But 95% of our women in this society have a westernized mindset. They don't have no shame of doing wicked, of being sinful, willingly sinning. This is the condition of the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. These are the curses that are upon us. So we're going to get some scriptures in this lesson going into stealing. Stealing is an iniquity, and she lied. Lying and stealing is an iniquity. You can be destroyed for that. You can be destroyed for lying and stealing. Okay, we're gonna get some scriptures going into this. All right. And this is Exodus 20 and 15. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. It says, thou shalt not steal. See, thou shalt not steal. You see that? The scriptures say, thou shalt not steal. So you're not supposed to steal. Okay? Stealing is an iniquity. It's a sin. You can't be stealing. Right? That's the commandments that the Lord gave us. Okay? This is Exodus 20 and 17. It says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. See, you're not supposed to covet, right? Have desires over your neighbor's belongings or person's belongings. Look.
Covet.
Yearn to possess or have something. Desire. Look.
Desire.
Strongly wish for or want something. All right. He never achieved the status he so desired, right? Desire, having covet desires of somebody's stuff. These are literally laws here that the Lord commanded for us as Israelites, right? It says Sirach 25:19. It says all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. You see that? These women in society today have no shame of being wicked. They willingly sinning out here. They don't have no shame of stealing or being a harlot or being wicked. Now, I'm not saying all of the Israelite women is like this, but 95% of them are. Majority of these women in society are willingly sinning and they don't give a damn. They show their body parts to the public. These women are not ashamed of what they do. Long as they can get a profit out of stealing or doing any wickedness, they don't give a damn. This is the society that we live in today. Right? Sirach 25:19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. She don't have no shame of being wicked. And this is that going into the spirit of impenitent. They have an impenitent mindset, an impenitent mind, right? Which that word impenitent means no regrets or no shame. They're comfortable in doing wickedness. Romans 2:5. It says, but after thy hardness and impenitent heart, meaning mind, treasures up unto thyself wrath against the day and wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of the Most High. You're going to be destroyed for that. Having an impenitent mind, right? You're willingly sinning.
Impenitent.
Not feeling shame or regret about one's actions or attitudes. And that's how she had. When the police came up to her and asked her, how you doing, etc., you stealing merchandise, she literally lied in the face and said, no, I didn't steal anything. He checked her pockets and she stole some credit cards, she stole a wad of cash, and she stole a Rolex, a Rolex gold Rolex. She was gonna probably pawn that Rolex in, take it to the pawn shop, get some money, and she stole some credit cards. This is this condition of our people. This is how bad of a condition of the mindset of our people are. And this is why the Lord is going to have a judgment. This is why 2/3 of our people have to be put to death, according to prophecy. They're in vain wickedness and they not trying to change and they don't give a damn. Especially these women. These so-called black women, they don't give a damn. And I'm not saying all of them is like this, right? Not all the black women are wicked, or not all the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indian women are wicked, but majority of them are in this mindset, right? Proverbs 9:13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. She don't know nothing. These women are like children, man. They do things first and then they want to admit it after they get arrested, right? They want to do things first and then when they get caught in action, then they want to humble down and want to say sorry and all this. It's too late. You already got caught in your iniquity. You got caught in your iniquity, right? You literally got caught in your iniquity, right? The Lord is literally watching everything you're doing, right? Sirach 25:13, it says, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And you don't want to have a plague mind. To you Israelite men, you don't want to have a plague mind. It says, give me any plague but the plague of the mind. Give me any plague but the plague of the mind. You don't want to have a plague mind, man. Right? It says, in any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And that's the wickedness of these women. They're harlots. All they do is steal. Right? And that movie, Players Club, was a perfect movie because it was letting you know how these women were going to be of today. They were like that in the 90s, but they're on a whole nother stroll now. Players Club, the movie Players Club, was showing you the mindset of these women, right? Their slogan was we gotta you use what we got to get what we want. You know, that movie was letting you know the mindset of the so-called Negro woman. That's their mindset. Majority of these women now, right? We use what we got to get what we want. And if they don't give a damn. If they got a chance to be able to do something, they're going to do it. If they don't get caught, they're going to keep doing it. And like I said, you could get away with something 1,000 times. But it only takes for you to get caught one time. And once you get caught, that is it. Right? That is it. But getting back to this, Sirach 25:13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And that's the wickedness of these women. Stealing, right? Caught stealing. That's judgment, man, from the Lord. Stealing, right? Leviticus 19:11. It says, ye shall not steal. It's a law. It says, ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie to one another. And she lied. The officer asked her, did she have any items on her? And she said, no, she lied. Then he pulled her all the items that she had in her possession. Then she wanted to tell the truth. Actually, she lied for a minute until he arrested her and put her in a car. Then she wants to admit it. Talking about, I'm pregnant, I got kids and all that. You should have been thinking about that before you started stealing. Common sense, man. It says, ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie to one another. And that's what she did. She lied and she was stealing. She's going to receive, that's her judgment and her fault. Not realizing the camera is literally beaming on your ass. And you're going to go and steal. Romans 13:9, it says, for this thou shalt not commit adultery, right? Thou shalt not commit adultery. That's a law. And this is in the New Testament. We're reading it. That's a law. That's off the Mosaic law. And you have to keep that law. This ain't done away with. Romans 13:9, for this thou shalt not commit adultery. You can't be sleeping around with another man's wife. That's a sin. That's adultery. Thou shalt not kill. You can't murder nobody. Kill them, right? Thou shalt not steal. You're not supposed to be stealing, man. Thou shalt not bear false witness. You're not supposed to bear false witness on nobody, lying on anybody, right? It says, thou shalt not covet. Covet. Desires, right? Desires of someone's belongings. Desires of other people's belongings, right? It says, and if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So you're not supposed to be stealing. That's one of the commandments. And that commandment ain't done away with. You have to keep that commandment. 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all of evil. And she did. She stole money. She stole credit cards. And she stole a wristwatch. Probably was like worth 100,000. Ain't no telling. Right? It says 1 Timothy 6:10. It says, for the love of money is the root of all of evil, which while some coveted after, desires after, right? It says they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows, right? So you see that? Look what happened, caught her up at the end. She was stealing. Look what happened to her. What happened? The Lord set it up for her to go to get placed into jail now. Now you got jail time. Now you got charges. Now you lost your job in nursing. You know how hard it is to get in the nursing field? You got to go to college. You got to do all of that shit just to be a nurse. You got to have a degree to get to be a nurse. She worked hard for all of that. Now all that shit is down the drain. She can never do that job again. Stealing from her patients. Stealing. Now you're going to be, you talking about you're going to lose your job. You should have thought about that before stealing, man. It's common sense. Mark 10:19. Thou knowest, this is Yahushua speaking. Thou knowest the commandments. You should know the commandments. You're a so-called Negro, Spank, Native American Indian. You are a Hebrew Israelite according to the scriptures, and you have to keep the commandments. The laws are not done away with. You still have to keep them, of the laws that you can't keep. Thou knowest the commandments. Do not commit adultery. Don't be sleeping around with another man's woman, another man's wife. All right, don't be sleeping with another man's wife. Right? It says, thou shalt not kill. Don't kill nobody. Right? Don't murder nobody. Do not steal. The Lord Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, said, do not steal. Right? It says, do not bear false witness. Lie on a person falsely. Right? It says, defraud not. Honor thy mother and thy father. These are the commandments, man. Right? These are the commandments, man. All right? Psalm 62 and 10. It says, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. And what is robbery, right?
Robbery.
The action of taking property unlawfully, right? From a person or place by force or threat of force. You could be destroyed for that. Trust in oppression. It says, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your mind upon them. You see that? So the scriptures is already giving us instructions, man. All right. This woman is caught in her actions, and literally she had to pay the price. That's judgment there. So warning comes before destruction. If you are a person out there and you are a person like her out there stealing, and you at your job stealing or doing anything like that, you better remember the Lord is watching everything you're doing. And let me get that, right? Let me get that. Let's see if I'm making it up. The Lord is watching everything you're doing. Listen to this. Proverbs 15 and 3. It says the eyes of the Lord are in every place. The eyes of the Lord is in every place. Don't think the Lord doesn't watch what you're doing. He's literally watching everything and everything that you're doing. Literally. The Lord is, you cannot hide from the Lord. The Lord is watching everything that you're doing. It says the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good, right? Because the Lord is in control of good and evil, right? So the Lord is watching everything that you're doing. You can't hide from the Lord of what you're doing. The Lord sees you. If he sees your wickedness, he gonna bring it out. He gonna pull you out to the open. The Lord is watching everything you're doing, man. You cannot hide your wickedness from the Lord. He gonna pull that shit out. And she got caught. What she thought she was doing in secret, it got brought out to the light. And now she got to suffer the persecutions that come with it now, all because of her stealing. You got to be using wisdom out there. Don't jeopardize your job. If you know you got kids, you know you working hard at your job, and you're trying to keep your job, and we barely trying to scrape and make it as it is. You putting yourself through a whole nother fucking turmoil. Now she got to go to court. Now she might do jail time. Now she gonna have a record. Now she gonna have to go probably go to court or get a probation officer or whatever that is. Now you're gonna have all of these more requirements on you that Esau love putting that on the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, the Americans. You're gonna put yourself through more turmoil. You're suffering as it is. It's not worth to add more turmoil to yourself. You gotta think and use wisdom before you do shit. Excuse my French, before you do stuff, man. You got to use wisdom. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding good and evil. So remember, the Lord is watching everything you're doing. Don't think the Lord is not watching everything that you're doing, because he's literally watching everything that you're doing. He's watching you. The Lord is watching everything. You cannot hide from the Lord, man. So, hey, man, I just wanted to do a lesson on this. This hit my spirit when I seen that. This woman jeopardized her job. She said she was pregnant. If you was pregnant, you jeopardize all of that. Now you got to go to the courts. Now you got to deal with Esau's court system. Now you going to go to jail. Now you're going to do time. Now you adding fucking felonies and shit to your record that you don't need. It's not worth stealing. If you're a nurse, you got a good job, stay working, do what you got to do to provide for your family. Don't put yourself and your family in more oppression of turmoil, of affliction. Now you got more fucking felonies and bills you got to pay. You adding shit to yourself. So, hey, man, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I just had to do a lesson on this. On to the next one. Shalom.